environmental policy presentation, a corporate meeting room. Sofia Chen, Environmental Director, is presenting the company's new environmental policy to department managers.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this important session on our new environmental policy. Before I dive into the details, I'd like to explain why we've developed this policy and how it will guide our operations moving forward.
Sophia, can I ask a quick question? We had developed an environmental policy 3 years ago. How is this one different?
Excellent question. Yes, we had created a policy in 2022, but since then, several things have changed. First, environmental regulations in our key markets have become much stricter. Second, our customers increasingly expect demonstrated environmental commitment. And third, we acquired 2 new facilities last year that weren't covered by the previous policy.
So this is a complete replacement rather than an update.
Correct. We decided to start fresh rather than amend the old policy. Before we drafted the new policy, we had conducted a thorough review of our environmental aspects and compliance obligations. We had also benchmarked against industry leaders to ensure our approach reflects best practices. Now, let me walk you through the key elements of the new policy. It consists of 3 core commitments and 7 specific objectives. Our core commitments are compliance with all applicable environmental laws and regulations, prevention of pollution, and continual improvement of our environmental performance.
Those sound similar to our previous commitments.
The high-level commitments are indeed similar, but the difference lies in how we'll implement them. For example, under pollution prevention, our previous approach focused mainly on end-of-pipe controls. By the time we began developing this new policy, we had realized that we need to address environmental aspects throughout the product lifecycle.
Can you give us a specific example?
Sure, by the end of last year, we had identified that packaging waste was one of our most significant environmental aspects. Our customers had been complaining about excessive packaging for years, but we hadn't addressed it systematically. The new policy specifically commits us to reducing packaging materials by 30% within 2 years while maintaining product protection.
That's a challenging target. Had you consulted with the operations team before setting it?
Absolutely. Before we finalized any targets, we had worked with representatives from each department to ensure they were ambitious but achievable. In fact, the operations team had already begun testing alternative packaging solutions before we even drafted the policy. Now let's talk about implementation. A policy is only meaningful if it drives action. We have developed a comprehensive implementation program with clear responsibilities and timelines. By the time we announce this policy publicly next month, each department will have received specific objectives and action plans.
Who will be responsible for monitoring progress?
We have established a cross-functional environmental steering committee that will meet monthly to review progress. My team will provide technical support and coordinate reporting, but implementation responsibility rests with each department. Before we had finalized this approach, we had considered creating a centralized implementation team, but we decided that integration into normal business operations would be more effective.
What about resources? These initiatives will require investment.
Yes, they will. The executive team has approved an environmental improvement fund of 2 million euros for the first year. Before they approved this budget, they had requested a detailed cost-benefit analysis, which showed that many initiatives will generate savings that offset the initial investment.
How will we communicate this to employees?
We have planned a comprehensive communication campaign. Before we launch the policy, we will have trained all supervisors to discuss it with their teams. We have created simple visual materials that explain how each person can contribute to our environmental objectives, and we will integrate environmental performance into our recognition program. In closing, this policy represents a significant step forward in our environmental commitment. By the time we conduct our management review next year, I'm confident we will have made substantial progress. The world is changing. Environmental expectations are increasing, and this policy positions us to lead rather than follow. Thank you for your attention. I'd be happy to answer any additional questions.